Hello all, in today's video I'm going to go through a number of masterpiece JRPGs. Now side note, most of these are from the 90s and the 2000s, there's not going to be any modern games here. These are all historic, groundbreaking JRPGs for their time. Before I get into things, please do me a massive favour and like this video and subscribe to the channel if you enjoy JRPG content like this. But without further ado, let's get into the video. With this one, this is a game I played on release when I was very young. I believe I was probably about 7, maybe 8 years old. I then played it again in my teens, and then I really resonated with it when I played it in my early 20s. The game features a captivating narrative that blends humour, drama and deep emotional moments. It explores themes of identity, purpose and the nature of existence, making it both thought-provoking and engaging. Each character in Final Fantasy IX is unique and well developed with distinct personalities. Characters like Zidane, Vivi and Garnet have left a lasting impression on players due to their depth and relatability. The game pays homage to the earlier titles in the series with its medieval setting and classic fantasy elements. This returns to the roots of the series, which is a refreshing change for many fans at the time. The ability system in Final Fantasy IX is both accessible and deep, allowing players to learn skills from equipment and customise their characters in meaningful ways. This system adds a layer of strategy and replayability to the game. The game's art style and character designs are charming and timeless. Additionally, the soundtrack is considered to be one of the best works from the 90s in JRPGs and, personally, probably JRPG history. It perfectly complements the game's atmosphere and emotional moments. The game is known for its ability to evoke strong emotions from the heartwarming to the heartbreaking. Key moments in the story, such as Vivi's journey of self-discovery, resonate deeply with players, and it's probably one of the best backstories and journeys of all time, if I'm totally honest with you. These elements all come together to create a rich, immersive experience that has stood the test of time, making Final Fantasy IX a beloved classic in the RPG genre, and in my opinion, the best in the Final Fantasy series. Now onto a title I actually bought along with my PS Vita. Now the game features a compelling narrative centred around a group of high school students investigating mysterious murders in a rural town. The blend of supernatural elements of everyday life creates a unique and immersive experience. Each character in Persona 4 is so well developed with their own personal struggles and growth arcs. The social link system allows players to build relationship with these characters, adding depth to the story and making the emotional moments more impactful. The game combines traditional turn-based combat with life simulation elements. Players balance dungeon crawling with daily activities like attending school, working part-time jobs and building friendships. This dual gameplay mechanic keeps the experience fresh and engaging. The soundtrack is iconic and enhances the atmosphere of the game, and the art style with its vibrant colours and distinctive character design has a classic appeal. Persona 4 explores themes of identity, truth and self-acceptance. The game encourages players to confront their own fears and insecurities, making it a thought-provoking experience. Over the years, Persona 4 has developed a massively dedicated fan base and has influenced many other games. Its success led to various spin-offs, including anime adaptations, fighting games, and even a rhythm game. Now, Persona 4 was absolutely groundbreaking for the time on the PS Vita, and people still play it today due to its absolutely fantastic, engaging storyline, combat, and social simulation elements. Next up on the list is Dragon Quest V. I played this one initially on the Nintendo DS back in, let's cast my mind back, probably about 2010. I think it was shortly before I started university. The game features a unique narrative that spans multiple generations, allowing players to experience the protag's life from childhood to adulthood. This approach adds depth and emotional resonance to the story. When I cast my mind back, it kind of reminds me of Ocarina of Time, Legend of Zelda Ocarina of Time, when Link goes from a child to his early adulthood. However, in Ocarina of Time, it doesn't really go in depth with the backstory and the overall story and narrative of that with Link. The characters in Dragon Quest V are well developed and memorable. The relationships between the protag, their family and friends are central to the story, making the emotional moments more impactful. One of the standout features of the game is the ability to recruit monsters to join the party. This mechanic adds a layer of strategy and variety to the gameplay, as different monsters have unique abilities. The game retains the traditional turn-based combat system that fans of the series love, while also introducing new mechanics like the wagon system, which allows for dynamic party switching during battles. The game is known for its emotional storytelling, with key moments that can be both heartwarming and heartbreaking, similar to what happens in Final Fantasy IX. The journey of the protag, including the loss and reunion with loved ones, resonates deeply with players. Despite being released in the early 90s, Dragon Quest V's art style, music and gameplay have aged extremely well, making it enjoyable for both new and returning players. Next up is Suikoden 2, which is a classic game developed by Konami, originally released for the PlayStation back in 1998 in Japan, 1999 in North America, and I believe over in Europe and the UK for myself. We didn't get it into the year 2000. However, I didn't personally play this game until I would say it's probably about 2007, 2008 was when I first played this game, and my god, was I in for a treat. Also, a little question for everyone before I get into this. Do you pronounce it Suikoden or Suikoden? Because I hear some YouTubers call it Suikoden and other people call it Suikoden. Myself personally, I go for Suikoden, but I digress. Suikoden 2 is often held as a masterpiece for a number of reasons. The game features a deep and emotionally engaging narrative filled with themes of friendship, betrayal and political intrigue. Suikoden 2 boasts a large cast of characters, each with their own backstories and motivations. The game does an excellent job of integrating these characters into the main story, making them feel essential rather than optional extras, which I think is fantastic for the time. The game combines traditional turn-based combat with large-scale strategic battles, adding variety and depth to the gameplay. The game features one of the most memorable villains in RPG history, in Luca Blight. His presence and actions drive much of the game's tension and conflict. Key moments in the game, such as betrayals and major plot twists, are executed in a way that leaves a lasting emotional impact on players. Despite being released during the early days of 3D graphics, Suikoden 2's 2D art style and music have aged well, contributing to its timeless appeal. These elements all come together to create a rich and immersive experience that stood the test of time, making Suikoden 2 a masterpiece that every RPG fan should play at some point in their lifetime. Now on to a game that was absolutely groundbreaking at the time, and that's Earthbound. Unlike many RPGs of its time, Earthbound is set in a quirky modern day world rather than a traditional fantasy setting. The story follows a young boy named Nets and his friends as they embark on a surreal adventure to save the world from an alien threat. The game is known for its offbeat humour and satire take on American culture. It cleverly parodies various aspects of society, making it both funny and thought-provoking. Despite its humorous exterior, Earthbound tackles serious themes such as identity, belonging and the struggle of growing up. Earthbound introduces several innovative gameplay mechanics such as the rolling HP meter, which adds a strategic element to battles. The game also features a unique inventory system and a variety of quirky enemies. The game's soundtrack, composed by Suzuki and Tanaka, is iconic and enhances the overall experience. The art style with its bright colours and whimsical designs has a timeless charm. Over the years, Earthbound has developed a dedicated cult following. Its influence can be seen in many modern indie titles, and it continues to be celebrated for its originality and impact on the RPG genre. That's all for today's video. Any games that you consider a masterpiece that should be on this list? Now, I do appreciate there are probably 10, 20, 30, maybe even more JRPGs that can be considered a masterpiece. If there are any you think I should check out, please do let me know in the comment section below. If you've enjoyed this video, please consider subscribing to the channel and liking the video. But until next time, I'll see you later.